Wooper Community Day is almost here, and we're not just talking about the normal Wooper and Quagsire, but also Paldean Wooper and Clodsire, who will both be debuting with this event. So we'll be covering both how good the new exclusive moves are, and also how Clodsire itself performs. So let's get right into things. Welcome back, everyone. So Wooper Community Day brings the debut of the Paldean Wooper line, plus new charged moves for Quagsire and Clodsire. But because Clodsire is a brand new Pokemon, we're going to focus on that first. So Clodsire is essentially a much bulkier version of Quagsire, which is really nice for PvP. Compared to Quagsire, it's got lower attack, a higher defense, and a much higher HP, and Quagsire already had a really high stamina stat. That makes Clodsire's stat product about 350 higher than Quagsire in the Great League, and about 450 higher in the Ultra League, though admittedly, both are a bit below the CP cap for Ultra. Nonetheless, Clodsire has excellent stats for PvP, and as for its moves, it's a little more complicated. It's got both Poison Sting and Mud Shot for fast moves, and a wide charged move pool, including Sludge Bomb, Earthquake, Stone Edge, Acid Spray, and Water Pulse. Basically the same charged moves as Quagsire, except Water Pulse instead of Mud Bomb. Now, funny enough, this isn't Clodsire's original moveset for Go. It was first added with the same moves, except it had Poison Jab and Surf as well, but those were recently changed out for Poison Sting and Water Pulse in the game's data. On the one hand, this is really disappointing for Clodsire, as it does make it considerably worse, but my somewhat controversial opinion is that this may have been for the best. Clodsire was poised to be one of the best new Great League Pokemon, and that's really nice, but the issue would be if it became too good, or even if people got sick of it after several months. It would be really difficult to balance, as you can't nerf Poison Jab or Surf without a lot of collateral damage. I'd personally rather they buff it in increments to build it back up. But let's get back to how it'll perform with its current moves, as it has several good options still. Mud Shot is likely the best fast move, and as for charged moves, you can run any combination of Stone Edge, Sludge Bomb, and Earthquake. And while it's taken a hit, Mud Shot alongside Stone Edge and Earthquake is still a solid moveset. It has the weakness of not being able to bait shields due to its moves being expensive, but that makes it a Pokemon who will be great in the late game. In the Great League though, it does have its iffier matchups, mainly Steel and Ghost types, but that doesn't stop it from being an incredibly bulky Pokemon with solid coverage. It will definitely be pretty good, sort of like a ground and poison version of the Regis. Now, what about its exclusive move though? Megahorn provides Clodsire with a strong 55 energy bug charged move. Does it do much though? In my opinion, not really. It's a cheaper move than Earthquake, but it's not the most helpful aside from having something to use against Psychic types like Cresselia and Dark types like Umbreon. And while it is nice to have, I'm not sure it'll be Clodsire's go-to move. Still, I'd say build one with each move if you're able, one with Megahorn and one without. Having Megahorn could still be beneficial in some metas. Basically, I'll say these two are good with both their normal movesets and also their Community Day movesets, so if you can, I'd recommend building each one with and without their exclusive move. But overall, these are two prominent Pokemon in PvP, and even with its moves nerfed, Clodsire is still pretty good, so I highly recommend hunting some good ones during the Calm Day if you're able. But now let's move over to the Johtonian Wooper evolution, Quagsire. Now Quagsire has had decent play in the Great League for quite a while, but the addition of Mud Bomb to it last season gave it a lot more play, especially its Shadow. Having a cheap charged move really helped it out. Now though, Quagsire gets an even cheaper new charged move in the form of Aqua Tail. Being 35 energy as opposed to Mud Bomb's 40, Quagsire will now consistently be able to get to Aqua Tail in 4 Mud Shots, which is pretty fast. But this is at the cost of Mud Bomb's 10 more damage, and strong ground damage in general, unless if you switch out Stone Edge for Earthquake, which I'm not sure I'd recommend in most scenarios. As to whether Aqua Tail is an upgrade over Mud Bomb, that's a trickier question. Aqua Tail helps Quagsire manage Gligar and Steelix better, which is pretty important, in addition to some matchups where you want a quicker move. But it also gives up a lot of pressure against Steel types like Alolan Sandslash and Registeel, so I'm not really sure if it'll be a huge upgrade, but at the worst, it's a side grade. Basically, I'll say that these two are good with both their normal movesets and their Community Day movesets, so if you can, I'd recommend building each with and without their exclusive moves. But overall, these are two very prominent Pokemon in PvP, especially the brand new Clodsire, so I highly recommend hunting some good ones during Community Day if you're able. One final little tidbit that I'll throw in is about the Little Cup, where Paldean Wooper makes for a very impressive new contender, with a very oppressive unnerfed moveset of Poison Jab alongside Body Slam and Dig. So if you normally partake in Little Cup when it rolls around, I'd definitely recommend picking up a Paldean Wooper. And this makes for our final Community Day of the year before the December recap next month, so down in the comments below, let us know what you think of Wooper Community Day, but also what your favorite this year was. We'll be doing our own ranking of the 11 Calm Days soon, so be sure to subscribe so you don't miss that video. And if you found this one helpful, be sure to give it a thumbs up. Until next time though, thanks so much for watching, and we wish you all the best of luck during Wooper Calm Day. Take care.